Surah 26, Ash-Shu'ara, by the one who is denoted by the name Allah, who created my being with his names in accord with the meaning of the letter B, the Rahman, the Rahim. Qa, Sin, Mim. These are the signs of the clear knowledge, Sunnatullah, way of God. Are you going to destroy yourself because they don't believe? If we so will, we could reveal a miracle upon them from the heavens, and they will be forced to bend their necks and accept the command. But whenever a new reminder comes to them from Ar-Rahman, the most beneficent, they turn away from it. Indeed, they have denied, but the news of the thing they mock at will come to them soon. Did they not see the earth, how much we have produced and raised therein from every generous couple, double-stranded DNA? Indeed, there is a sign in this, but most of them have not believed in the truth, in their truth. And when people say, seek your truth, or it's my truth, they typically don't mean this. We're talking about the actual truth, not just what people project as the truth. Indeed, your Rabb is who? We're using that I am it use of the pronoun as a name way in this translation. The Aziz, the Rahim, mighty, merciful. And remember when your Rabb called to Moses, go to the wrongdoing people, to the people of Pharaoh, will they not fear and protect themselves? Moses said, my Rabb, I fear that they will deny me. I feel constricted and tongue-tied, so appoint Aaron for this task instead. I fear they will kill me, for I am guilty of a crime about which they are right. He said, no, never. Go, both of you, as are miracles, proofs. Indeed, we are one with you, listening. Go, both of you, to Pharaoh and say, indeed we are the messengers of the Rabb of the worlds, the creator of everything in existence with the qualities of his names. Send the children of Israel with us. Pharaoh said, did we not raise you and tame you while you were a child among us? Did you not spend many years of your life with us? And you did that deed, killed one of Pharaoh's people. You are of the ungrateful. Moses said, when I did that deed, I was not aware of myself, so I fled from you out of fear. Then my Rabb granted me a command and made me of the messengers. And this favor of which you remind me is no more than the result of your enslavement of the children of Israel. Pharaoh said, and what is the Rabb of the worlds? Moses said, the Rabb, created with his names of the heavens, the earth, and everything in between. If you are one of the people of certainty, you will know. Pharaoh said to those around him, do you hear him? Moses said, your Rabb and the Rabb of your forefathers. Pharaoh said, this Rasul, delegate, who has been disclosed to you, is most definitely possessed. Most of the messengers have been accused of being possessed after they have conveyed the reality. Moses said, the Rabb of the east, the west, and everything in between, if you use your intellect. Pharaoh said, indeed, if you take anything besides me as God, I will surely imprison you. Moses said, even if I have come to you with something clear, proof. Pharaoh said, then show it, if you are of the truthful. Moses released his staff. Suddenly it appeared as a serpent. Moses drew out his hand from his shirt. The observers saw it to be bright white. Pharaoh said to his leaders, indeed, he is a learned magician. He wishes to drive you out of your land with his magic. What do you advise? And they said, seize him and his brother and send heralds to the cities. Let them gather all the skilled magicians and bring them to you. And by magicians, we mean, evil magic, not just, showmen. So the magicians assembled at a specific time and place And people used to pretend to have religious powers when they did tricks. So that's why our word for magic got twisted about, right? And it was said to the people, "Have you all gathered? If they prevail, we will probably follow the magicians," said the people. And by the magicians, the people who play with heat, so they're doing something that's supposed to involve the jinn. When the magicians came, they said to Pharaoh, "And what if we prevail? Will we be rewarded?" "Yes," said Pharaoh. "In that case you will be of those most near to me." Moses said to them, "Throw down what you have in your hands." So they threw their ropes and staffs and said, "By the might of Pharaoh, indeed it is we who will prevail." Then Moses threw his staff, and alas, at once it devoured their apparitions. Upon seeing this, the magicians prostrated in front of Moses. They said, "We believe in the Rub of the worlds, the Rub of Moses and Aaron." Pharaoh said, "Have you believed in him without my permission? Surely he is your leader in teaching you sorcery. Soon you will know. I will cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides and have you all crucified." The magicians, who now believed, said, "No harm. Indeed, to our Rub we will return. As the first believers, we hope that our Rub will forgive us for our mistakes." We revealed to Moses, "Travel with my servants by night. You will be pursued." Pharaoh sent heralds to the cities. They, the children of Israel, are an insignificant minority, but they are enraging us. "Indeed, we are a well-prepared people," said Pharaoh. "Thus, we made them leave their gardens and springs, their treasures and wealth. Thus it is. And then we made the children of Israel inheritors of them, the dynasty of Pharaoh. Pharaoh and his army pursued them as the sun rose. When the two groups saw each other, Moses' companions said, "They have caught up to us." "No," said Moses, "my Rub is with me. He will show us the way to liberation." We revealed to Moses, "Strike the sea with your staff." When he did, the sea parted into two. Each part was like a big mountain. And it wasn't the Red Sea, it was the Sea of Reeds. And we made the others who were following approach that place too. Then we saved Moses and all those with him. Then we drowned the others. Indeed, there is a miracle lesson in this, yet most of them have not believed. Indeed, your Rub is who? The Aziz, the Rahim, the mighty, merciful. Tell them about Abraham too, how he had axed his father and his people. "What is that which you serve?" They said, "We serve our idols. We are constantly engaged in them." Abraham said, "Do they hear you when you pray to them? Or do they help or harm you?" They said, "No, but we found our forefathers doing the same, so we are imitating them." Abraham said, "Think, what are you serving, you and your forefathers? They are definitely my enemies. Only the Rub of the worlds, who created me, it is he who guides me to my essential reality, who gives me food and drink, it is he who heals me when I am sick, and he who takes life and gives life, and it is he who I hope will forgive me for my mistakes during the period when the laws of religion are in effect." My Rub, grant me a judgment and include me among the righteous ones, and allow me to convey the truth to the generations to come after me. Make me one of the inheritors of your paradise of bliss. Forgive my father. Indeed, he is of those who have gone astray from the right faith. Do not disgrace me during the resurrection period, the time when neither wealth nor sons will be of any avail. Only he who has come to Allah with a sound heart, in whose consciousness the reality has become manifest, the life of paradise has been brought nearer to the protected ones, and as for those who have deviated from the reality, hell has been brought in front of them. They are asked, "Where are the things you worshipped?" The things you worship besides Allah, can they help you, or can they even help themselves? They, the things you worshipped, and those of you who have deviated from their essential reality and worship those idols, will be thrown face down into hell. and so will the armies of Iblis. They argue therein, saying, by Allah, we were definitely in clear corruption when we had held you equal to the rub of the worlds. It was the guilty who denied the reality and led us astray. And we have no intercessor, and we have no trustworthy friend. If only we can go back to the reality and attain the results of faith. There is indeed a lesson in this. Most of them have not believed in their essential reality. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim. The people of Noah also denied the messengers. When the brother Noah said to them, do you not fear and beware? Indeed, I am a trustworthy messenger for you. So protect yourselves from Allah, for he will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. It is the Rabb of the worlds who will make me live the consequences of my working. So protect yourselves from Allah and obey me. They said, why should we believe in you when your followers are but the lowest of classes? Noah said, I have no knowledge of their doings. My Rabb knows the consequences of their deeds. If only you had become conscious of it. I am not one to drive believers away. I am only a clear warner. They said, indeed, O Noah, if you do not desist, you are going to be stoned to death. Noah said, my Rabb, my people have most certainly denied me. So part me from them, so that they may get what they deserve. For while a Rasul, messenger, is among them, they should not be subject to suffering, and save me and those who are with me from among the believers. So we saved him and the ark full of those who were with him. Then we drowned the rest. Indeed, there is a miracle lesson in this, but the majority of them are not believers. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim, mighty, merciful. Ad, the people of Hud, also denied the messengers. When the brother Hud said, do you not fear and protect yourselves? Certainly, I am a trustworthy Rasul for you, so protect yourselves from Allah, for most certainly he'll make you to live the consequences of your deeds and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. The return of my works belongs to the Rabb of the worlds. Do you build mansions on every hilltop and amuse yourselves, and make castle-like houses as though you will live forever. You can rely on your strength and abolish all rights and seize all that you can. So protect yourselves from Allah, for he will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. Protect yourselves from the one who assists you with all the blessings that you know, and gave you cattle, sacrificial animals, and sons, and gardens and springs. Truly, I fear for you as the suffering of a tremendous time is upon you. They said, whether you admonish us or not, it is all the same for us. These are only the fables of the past, and we will not be subject to any suffering. And thus they denied him, and we destroyed them. Indeed, there is a miracle, a lesson in this, but most of them are not believers. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim, the mighty, the merciful. And we noticed that those words are repeated in different verses. Thamud also denied the Rasuls. The brother Saleh said to them, do you not fear and beware? I am most certainly a trustworthy Rasul, so protect yourselves from Allah. He will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. The return of my service belongs only to the Rabb of the worlds. And those 3 verses likewise keep getting repeated here. Do you think you will always be safe, regardless of whatever you do, in paradises, gardens and springs, with crops and date palms, with fruit buds, skillfully and cheerfully hewing out the houses in the mountains? So protect yourselves from Allah. He will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. Do not follow the orders of those who exploit their authority. They who exploit their authorities guide people in the world to the wrong rather than being corrective. They said, you have been bewitched, influenced. You are only a man like us, but you think you are different. Then show us a miracle if you are truthful. Celeste said, Here is an unattended she-camel. She has a turn of drinking water, as do your camels. Give her no harm, otherwise an intense period of suffering will overtake you. Taking no heed of this warning, they viciously slaughtered her and became very regretful. So the suffering struck them. Indeed, there is a sign, a lesson in this. Most of them have not believed. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim. The people of Lot also denied the messengers, and when their brother Lot asked them, Do you not fear and beware? Indeed, I am a Rasul, delegate, you can trust. So protect yourselves from Allah, for He will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. The return of my service belongs only to the Rabb of the worlds. Do you wish to leave the females and sleep with the men instead? You leave your women, whom your Rabb has created for you? No, you are indeed a people who transgress all bounds. They said, O Lot, if you do not desist your lecturing, you will surely be driven out of here. Lot said, In truth, I abhor this act of yours. Note, the hatred is expressed in reference to the action, not the doer. Because the Quran kind of talks about that. It's the quality. Some translations may not be as clear, but you have that prefix mu. So there's a quality that we're looking at. There's an action that we're looking at. My Rabb, save me and my people from what they do. And there's other linguistic examples too. But so we saved him and his people, except the old woman, Lot's wife, who did not believe, who did not wish to join them. Then we totally destroyed the rest, and we poured such a rain upon them, dreadful is the rain that befalls the forewarned. Indeed, there is a sign, a lesson in this, but most of them have not believed. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim, the mighty, the merciful. The dwellers of the forest, the people of Shu'aib, also denied the messengers. When Shu'aib said to them, Do you not fear and beware? Indeed, I am a Rasul, sent one you can trust. So protect yourselves from Allah, for He will most definitely subject you to the consequences of your deeds, and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. The return of my service belongs only to the Rabb of the worlds. Give full measure. Do not defraud people with a scale and cause loss to them. Weigh with correct scales. Do not deprive people of their rights and corrupt the order. Do not go to excess in the land. Protect yourselves from the one who created you and those before you, as he will subject you to the consequences of your deeds, just as he subjected those before you. They said, You are bewitched, influenced. You are a man like us. We think you are a liar. If you are truthful, then cause fragments from the sky to fall on us. Shu'aib said, My Rabb knows better what you do, as the Creator. Thus they denied him, and the intense suffering of that dark day caught them. Indeed, it was a tremendous time of a suffering. Indeed, there is a sign, a lesson in this too, but most of them have not believed. Indeed, your Rabb is who? The Aziz, the Rahim. Indeed, Al-Quran is the revelation of the Rabb of the worlds, a dimensional descent from your name's based essence to your consciousness, as opposed to a lot of stuff where people write books with their own hands that they think would be good guidance for their religious path, and even speak of it as if it's God's book. The trustworthy spirit, the knowledge of the names reflecting to your heart, came down with Gabriel to your heart consciousness, so that you may be of the warners based on this knowledge in a clear Arabic language. And indeed, this knowledge of the reality, also formed part of the wisdom of those before you. Was it not a proof for them that it was known by the scholars of the children of Israel? Because there's prophecies about Muhammad and, other stuff that still remains among them. Had we revealed it to someone who did not know Arabic, and he recited it to them, they would still not have believed. Thus we insert it in the middle of those who are guilty of denying the reality. They do not believe until they see a tragic suffering. The suffering of death, comes to them suddenly at a time when they least expect it. Death is the biggest suffering, as through the experience of death one observes his essential reality and realizes how much he failed to give its due right, and that he no longer has the opportunity to compensate, falling into the suffering of deep regret And they say, will we be given additional time? Do they want us to hasten the manifestation of our suffering upon them? Thus, you see, if we give them enjoyment for many years with various blessings, and the thing of which they are warned comes to them, neither their possessions nor the pleasures they enjoyed will give them any benefit, and we have never destroyed a city to which a warner has not come. Sometimes the message comes from another place, but yeah. First, a reminder is given. We are not unjust. It was not the devils that formed Quran. It does not suit them to do so, nor do they have the power to do so. They are indeed devoid of the capacity to perceive. So do not turn to any concept of Godhood when the reality of the law is clearly evident. Otherwise you will be among those subject to the suffering. Start your warning from those who are closest to you. Take those who follow you from among the believers under your wing. If they disobey you, say, I am free from what you do. Place your trust in the Aziz, the Rahim, the names comprising your essential reality, who sees you when you arise to fulfill your function, and that you are among those who prostrate. Indeed, he is who, the Sami'a, the Alim. Shall I inform you on whom the devils descend? They take under their influence those who are responsible of betraying themselves. Those who betray themselves give ear to the devil's delusive ideas in their subconsciousness, and most of them are liars. And the poets who incite the emotions and guide people to worship things they take as deities. Only those who have truly deviated follow them. Do you not see how they live in the world of fantasy and doubt? They say things that they cannot do, except those who believe in the reality and fulfill the requisites of their faith, who remember Allah much, and who attain victory after being wronged. Those who wrong themselves will soon comprehend the kind of transformation they will undergo, but alas, it will be too late. Now, we see that Islam with things takes a middle path. It's not art that's forbidden. It's that the principles and meanings that you express, these should be the sorts of things that you live, and you should be consistent, and it should be, within the bounds of religion, and that sort of stuff. And to make sure that I said all these verses, I'll go 79 through 84 again. I'm fairly certain I may cut this off. I almost never edit, but who gives me food and drink? It is he who heals me when I am sick, and it is he who takes life and gives life, and it is he who I hope will forgive me for my mistakes during the period when the laws of religion are in effect. My Rabb, grant me a judgment and include me among the righteous ones, and allow me to convey the truth to the generations to come after me. And see, you want your influence of good and truth, and in discouraging evil and ignorance, to pass on longer than you're in this body. 9, 104, 122, 140, 175, 191 are all the indeed your Lord is he, the Aziz, the Rahim verse. And we have part of a verse, but the start changes depending on the messenger. When we say, do not fear and beware. And then we have, I am indeed a trustworthy messenger for you. So protect yourselves from God and obey me. I do not ask you for anything in return. It is the Lord of the worlds who will make me live the consequences of my working. So protect yourselves from Allah and obey me. As verses 106 to 110. 124 to 127 does not have that last verse repeated. And we have 161 to 164 with a different ending to it. And 177 to 180. Again, there's that different ending to it. And 191 doesn't break into that same grouping that the others did.